Hi. Today I just thought I'd take a few minutes to discuss the upcoming changes to the financial planning education standards that take effect from the 1st of January 2019. There's a lot of confusion about what is going to happen, what isn't going to happen. I think it's a pretty good time just to have a chat calmly about it all now that the consultation period is finished on the 29th of June just passed. So let's have a look at exactly what FASEA is all about and where the industry is heading from an education perspective. So, as we all know, the professional education standards came into being last year through legislation, and the body that's going to implement the standards is known as FASEA. So, FASEA is a body incorporated under legislation. It came into being really around late 2017, and its purpose is to put in place professional standards around new advisors, so that is advisors who joined the industry from 2019 onwards, and existing advisors, that is advisors who hold an authorised representative status effectively on or before the 31st of December 2018 this year. So let's focus on the new advisors first, and then we'll move over to the existing advisors. So with new advisors, there's going to be a higher level required in terms of education. We're moving away from RG 146, Diploma of Financial Planning, very much to, as it says down here, the 1st of January, the degree or higher education. So again, this hasn't been set in stone as to what degrees will meet the requirements and so forth, but we do have some fair indication that it needs to be an approved degree, and that is an FPEC approved degree, which is all being worked out as we speak. After that, and again coming down here, the other hurdle that new advisors from the 1st of January 2019 need to pass is a national exam. Once again, the national exam has not been set, no framework. Reference in legislation is literally around a national exam must be passed before someone effectively can become an authorised representative. No other details than that. The next thing is that the legislation says is that there must be a professional year undertaken. Again, it's very scant. In fact, there's no detail around what the professional year is or should look like. The only thing in the legislation that is clear is that it says a person can undertake a professional year and hold an authorised representative status, but they will be a provisional authorised representative, and they'll need to be under supervision. At this stage, it's earmarked for 12 months, and there must be some combination of work and training going on. Again, neither of those things have been defined. And the last thing here, as it says, there needs to be CPD requirements. So there will be formal CPD requirements in place, and new planners must adhere to those by from the 1st of January 2019. So as you can see, anyone coming into the industry from the 1st of January 2019 onwards, there's a whole new framework that they must adhere to or even pass before they can get their foot in the door. So it's really, really raising the bar, which is great. Fantastic, no dramas. So long as the detail comes out and we can understand what and how it all works, that's going to be great. For most of the industry, or for the existing industry, where it's at the moment is here, on the existing financial planner side, advisor side of things. So really what that's about is anyone who holds an authorised representative status between, as it says down here, between the 1st of January 2016 and the 1st of January 2019. That is, the end of this year is the cut-off date. So what are the options there? Well, it's fun and games. So first and foremost, they must meet the CPD requirements as dictated going forward, and they've got a transition period of 4 years or 5 years from the CPD requirements from the first. So they must pass a national exam by 2021, 1st of January 2021, and in particular, again, no details around any of this, it's very scant, but what it did say in the legislation, and whether this comes into being in practice is another thing, what it did say in the legislation was people can have multiple attempts, existing advisors can have multiple attempts at the exam, and any fails will not be recorded against the ASIC Financial Advisor Register as long as they pass the national exam on or before the 1st of January 2021. then they will meet that hurdle. The next hurdle, which is what everyone's talking about at the moment, is this degree or degree equivalent and or bridging course. So FASEA came out with some directions around this a couple of months ago, and that's what's really up for grabs in terms of the consultation period that's just gone on. So they're talking about no degree, an unrelated degree, a related degree, and an approved degree. So all these things now need to be debated and discussed and really worked out within industry. What is clear, though, is that people will have till 2024, all existing advisors, as it says down here, will have till 2024 to meet this requirement. Now, this requirement in particular is going to be different for every person. So if someone has a degree or doesn't have a degree, if someone has a related degree or an unrelated degree, if someone's done a postgraduate or not done a postgraduate, it'll also come back to the number of years of experience that the person has as a financial advisor. As it currently sits, what it's looking like, or what is very clear from the higher education providers, is that provided the existing advisor has done their diploma of financial planning and preferably their advanced diploma of financial planning, that will give them credits towards whichever pathway they choose here. So for example, if someone was to do the diploma and advanced diploma of financial planning, they might get up to 1 year's credit towards a 3-year bachelor's degree. Similarly, if someone has 2 years experience as an advisor or 4 years experience as an advisor or something like that, then they may get direct pathway, skip the undergraduate, go direct pathway into a postgraduate, so a graduate diploma in financial planning. They'll get direct entry without having to do a degree, and they may get 1 credit or 2 credits or possibly more depending on the institution towards the 8-unit graduate diploma. So in theory, what could be a 2-year full-time graduate diploma could come down to 1-year full-time graduate diploma with credits. If that's done part-time as people are working, then obviously that will drag it out to about 2 years or so. But again, until all of this framework is worked out and the consultation period is now ended, it'll be interesting to see what washes through and how the industry deals with it. Whether the 1st of January 2019 is still a viable option and what kind of framework is going to be in place. What is clear though is this. We are moving to higher education standards within financial planning. If you're an existing advisor, you've got a transition period. If you're new from 1st of January 2019, you're going to have all these hurdles here to meet before you can become an advisor. That's great. An existing advisor, it's going to be a case-by-case basis, and really for most of them, it'll probably be a pathway which allows them to maximise their experience, maximise any previous studies, to then meet the new requirements. I think for now, it's just very much a wait and see. What we recommend is that people looking to get into the industry should try and get their diploma of financial planning now and get an authorised representative status by the end of the year. For accountants who are thinking about diversifying into financial planning, use the next 6 months, get into the industry, and then become what's termed an existing advisor so that you can have a transition period of the 5 years. And then also existing advisors, if they've already got the diploma of financial planning, which they will, then they should think about looking at the advanced diploma of financial planning if they don't already hold a degree, and then understand that it's not wasted because the diploma plus the advanced diploma will provide credits to whichever pathway they choose down the higher education route. Thanks for listening to my email.